I don't want to get ahead of myself. Getting ahead of myself is part of my existential predicament, really. I was informed just the other day. What day is today? Tuesday. I was informed just, I think, Sunday, that there's a jubilee. And naturally, I felt excited when I heard that. I just received this letter in the mail. Now, I usually associate jubilee with like a debt jubilee, like they're gonna absolve all the debts. And frankly, I've been waiting for them to absolve the debts. And I've been accruing debt rather liberally, I suppose. Accruing debt. $10 million worth of debts. Yeah. And maybe more. Maybe 100 million. I lost track. I've got thousands of credit cards. And every time I signed up for a credit card, the person said to me, there will likely be a jubilee in the future where all these debts are eliminated. And I said, well, why not? And so I went further and further in debt. I mean, what I like to think about debt is just that it's like constructive credit. It's not a negative. It's not a minus. Like, I owe $100 million on, I don't know how many thousands of credit cards. But it's all about how you frame reality. Like, how do you frame it? Am I really $100 million in debt? Or do I have $100 million of constructive credit? Like, I'm someone who's operating in such a high frequency that I automatically transmute everything around me. Everything. I'm blessed. I am blessed that I've spent $100 million. At least. I mean, it could be more than that. I've lost track of my constructive credit. Because there's also interest on that. And people talk about usury like it's some bad thing. Like, all I know is that I have probably close to $1 billion worth of debt because of the interest. But I don't call it debt. I call it constructive credit. Again, reframe. I have the privilege of having spent $1 billion. How many people can say that? Whether I earned the $1 billion is immaterial. That's irrelevant. Because if you think about the other billionaires, really? Was there accrual of $1 billion so legit? Really? I figure I can take out loans, invest this money, and pay back the loans. Now, of course, people told me, it's going to be offset by interest and inflation, the hidden tax, as they say. But again, reframe. Why do you have to look at it so negatively? Being $1 billion in debt as an individual, not as a company, not as a nation state, but as an individual. Tens of thousands of credit cards. Now, I don't actually have. This is kind of like a psychedelic journey, really, because I don't really have the time to spend that money, considering the fact that I've always been applying for these credit cards. And I know what you're saying. There aren't tens of thousands of credit cards in the world. And I'm like, what solar system are you from, bruh? Where are you at in your galaxy? Because I have access to tens of thousands of credit cards. I've got people in high places, or actually they're not really people. Not really. They are off-world entities living in dark caves in Middle-earth, where they have these so-called usury tables, which I don't look at it that way. Going into one of these dark passages and meeting an otherworldly being who had a whole portfolio of credit cards. So you remember, I don't know if you remember this, but I certainly do. When I was a child and I collected baseball cards, I also had tens of thousands of baseball cards, and I had them in those albums. And you turn the pages and the cards were slotted in the albums. Okay, so 9 on a page. Front and back, each page held 18. Yeah, that's how it was with the credit cards in Middle-earth. And this otherworldly being, the one with the black saucer eyes and gray complexion and huge head and stick figure body, tiny mouth. You know the one. He's an off-world being, otherworldly being. And I'll do my best to kind of enact him. They're called Greys. You're not really trusted, honestly. But then again, reframe. What is the point of the Grey? Deep in Middle-earth, in a cave, with a baseball card album of credit cards. What is the point? Very black-pilled, cynical people will say the point of all that credit card debt, tens of thousands of credit cards. Man, I can just hear them now. People are so fucking negative. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I don't even mean to be negative about negative people. They will say the point of all that is a debt slave system through credit cards. And I'm like, tweak it, bro. Tweak it. Okay, see it differently. Frame it differently. You have $1 billion of constructive credit. So there I am, flipping through the credit card album, for lack of a better word. And it's weird, but again, it's all how you look at it. It's just like I had to go through like 5 or 6 miles of this downward winding staircase. It was like it was chiseled by a laser, a very advanced laser. Chiseled by a laser doesn't really make sense, but it kind of does. So first, what they do is they just blast a tunnel through this with this laser beam. Maybe it's some kind of microwave thing that they use for the direct energy weapons, right? DEWs, as they say. And it just melts the rock. But it's like it's got to go somewhere. So it just goes down into a cave that they've already located through some kind of sonic apparatus, some sonic reconnaissance of Middle-earth. And so they melt a 45-degree angle tunnel. And this tunnel's like 10 feet in diameter all around. It's interesting. I'm 6 feet tall, so makes you wonder who else was walking down there. And it's at least 10 feet. I mean, it could be more, 12 feet. That's just my guesstimate. And that would be just a slick tunnel. At 45 degrees, you could slide down. But obviously don't want that. So then they have a secondary machine that goes through the tube. And it goes through slowly. At first, it's like connected to the top where the tunnel begins, and it goes down on this tether, for lack of a better word, and it just zaps stairs into the tube. And that's what it does until it gets down to the bottom. And then at the bottom, there's I guess the thing turns around and zaps a big room. And in that big room, there is just basically some dingy overhead lighting, a big table, wooden table, which is interesting, and then some shelves with the albums. And at the table is the gray, what we call the gray. Now, I don't know like how long that gray stays there. I'm of the opinion that the gray is actually artificial intelligence or some kind of genetic robot or an avatar. Something like that. Or all of the above, I don't know, but it just sits there like this. No. You gotta imagine I have big black disc eyes, really huge head, thin mouth, just 2 slots for a nose, thin wiry neck, and stick figure. Okay, imagine that. Welcome to Constructive Credit Cave. How may I help you? And that's weird, because I'm like, how does he know English? And is it a he? I have no idea if that's a he. It sounds like a he, because if that were a female gray, it would be like, welcome to Constructive Credit Cave. How may I help you? But maybe they're sexless. They're like asexual, non-binary. Non-binary. How can I help you? Okay. I'm freaked out. First, I just need to get myself situated here. And just as a side note, I'm talking to you now, not the gray. I'm going to switch in and out. Is when you're going down the cave, periodically you'll see these really long, like plasma screens, for lack of a better word. And they are kind of all covering, all encompassing of the whole tube. You know, and there would be like 100 feet. I don't know. And on that, they are giving you just this panorama of different alien species. Who knows, in our galaxy, presumably. And so you're getting used to it. And then, you know, you keep going down, and there might have been like 10 of these screens. So they spaced them out. You have your first screen, and it shows you the different aliens, and then the second screen shows them like coming to Earth, and then the third screen shows them how they like are invisible and cloaking, but still around, and the fourth screen is like, oh, first contact, and the fifth screen is like, oh, they're negotiating, and all that. And so by the time you get down to the cave with the gray, you have been, I don't know, acculturated is the best word I can think of, acculturated to aliens. Now, when I first went down, it was just because of that piece of mail that I got. It says, you know, if you want lots of credit, go to this website. And went to the website, and it says, you know, if you'd like unlimited credit, go to this location. And first of all, straight up, I'm like, too good to be true. I'm going to go to this location just to see what's up. It turns out they have a building in the major cities of every state. Who knows? Major cities of every country, for all I know. You go in there, and right when I walked into the building, it was really wild. I just kind of felt different. I felt really different. It was like this tractor beam of seduction, this subliminal sensual energy. Wow. So amazing. I could feel it now. And then I was so happy. So happy. It just felt like this kind of, I am just gonna have to say it felt like an orgasm, but just really subtle. Not like a, no, nothing like that. It was just like well-being, peace, just, bliss, unlike any bliss I've ever felt before. And as I'm there in the lobby, you can't even really pay attention to the external environment. It's just so blissed out. This individual walks up to me. Hello. Good to see you. Welcome. How may I help you today? And now that I've been to the bottom of the cave, I'm like, that's kind of like pretty much the same individual. Like the same frequency coming from that individual there in the lobby as down in the constructive credit cave. And I didn't obviously know that, but now that I am actually working for the company, working for the Gray, I suppose, and whoever that Gray is working for, and now that I am here helping people get unlimited credit and helping inaugurate them into this passage, this rite of passage through the tube down to the Gray, now I can see the connection. What they have to do is they have to appear like us. So in the lobby, that individual definitely appeared like another human. But it's interesting that this, and I understand this in retrospect, this whole situation is such that you are transitioned. Once you enter the lobby in the building, the energetic transmogrification occurs. The metamorphosis occurs. And they don't go full human on you, but they don't go full Gray either. So you're seeing this shape-shifting Gray. But they still talk like a Gray. And the energy is still Gray. And that's how they transition you to where you're going. Now, for me, I'm going to transition you, if you want unlimited credit, if you understand the genius of the reframe where you have tens of thousands of credit cards. You have your baseball card album in your office, but it's more than one album, that's for sure, right? Dozens of albums, so that you can see all your cards. And when you do this more and more and more, you're going to realize, yeah, I need an assistant. And after you are probably like $1 million in debt, somewhere like that, we're still hammering out the details because I bring a fresh perspective to these proceedings. You need someone to manage that debt. And you're going to get, as far as I'm concerned, my idea anyways, and we'll see if the Gray higher-ups can roll with me on this, is that you need a Gray secretary. You are $1 million in debt? I think that's pretty cool. I mean, not only do you have all this unlimited credit with tens of thousands of credit cards, and you went down and met an alien who you don't even know if it's just some organic AI, robot, an avatar. But now you've got one as your assistant. Fucking wild. Would you like some of our privileges? There it is. So you get rewards points. Every time you go in debt, you also get a notification from a Gray that you have rewards points. And you can redeem those rewards points. Now what I do is I leverage it. This was my idea, thank you. Is I leverage it for more credit cards. I've gone so many dollars in debt, constructive credit, remember, that I'm gonna get another card because they try to max you out and they know how to work with neurochemistry because once you hit a limit, you're like, I don't wanna have a limit. I don't wanna have a limit. And so I said to the Gray, hey, I don't wanna have a limit. Yes, we understand. Ooh, and there, look at that. Did you hear that? They get excited because that's the seed they planted. And so I say to this Gray, off the record, just you and me, Mr. Gray, Mrs. Gray, I don't know who you are, what you are. Are you AI? Are you some organic robot? Are you an avatar? And they just smile. It, he, she, they, whatever the pronoun is, I don't know. But it's, how do you smile when you got a little slit for a mouth? So it's like this. I'm obviously not going to get an answer from you. We are just here to do business. Okay, more like a feminine frequency to me. Are you a female? And there's that little slit right there. I am what you need me to be. Well, I don't really need you to be this, that, or the other. I just kind of want to know what you are. I am here to help you reach your unlimited potential on this plane. Okay. All right, so I'm doing that through constructive credit. Going $1 billion in debt. Yes. That is how we help you self-actualize your potential. That's cool. Well, since I work for the company now, I suppose I should get to know all of you Grays. I'm sensing that there's at least two. The one I met in the lobby and the one I meet down in the cave. Is there more? We are what you would call a hive mind. Yes. Yes, that's what I was picking up on, because after I met the dude down at the bottom in the constructive credit cave, it was like I've seen this, heard this, felt this before. And it was actually in the lobby with you, actually. Yes. I'm guessing that you are like a feminine Gray. I am what you need me to be. Oh yeah, all right. It's interesting. How can we get the whole planet in debt? Constructive credit. We do this through our human interface. Yeah. You do, don't you? Like I'm how you go exponential, how you 10x, as they say, how you scale. You need a human. Yes. So, what do I get out of it other than what I've already got out of it? What do you want? You know. You know what I want. I want another cave experience that just far surpasses and outshines what I have already experienced. Like, that was great. That was fantastic. Walking into the lobby, being seduced energetically by this field of blissful frequency. Oh, I love that. And then just being slowly ushered down several miles at a 45-degree angle, watching the videos on the plasma screens, talking to Mr. Gray, getting my credit, tens of thousands of cards. I want something new. I think I can reach my full potential in this plane, as you say, with $1 trillion of constructive credit. And that's just the beginning, because if you want me to leverage humanity to get into your system so they can reach their fullest potential, because that's how we're branding this. Just as you reframe it from debt to constructive credit, okay? You are reframing this whole system as the actualization of human potential. Self-actualization through constructive credit. And I am happy to play a part in that, but I want, for now, because this is a big ask, I want there to be a higher ceiling so I can have a higher floor. Right now, my floor is $1 billion. I want $1 trillion ceiling. It would be our pleasure. We want you to be as happy as possible. That's why we are here, in cooperation with your species. It's a win-win for us both. Oh, yeah. I'm really enjoying this conversation. I've really gotten used to the Greys. I like how you frame things. I think it's a very beneficial frame. The one you just gave me. Tell me. And I suppose I'm speaking to the whole hive mind now through you. I get that. I get that now. Tell me what you get out of this, where all the human beings are experiencing this self-actualization, realizing their potential through constructive credit. Tell me what you get, how you benefit. You will not understand how we benefit. Try me. It is not necessary at this time to explain it to you. Well, I mean, necessary is kind of like arbitrary. It's relative. I mean, I want to know. We will tell you when you are ready. Oh, I'm ready. I'm ready. I mean, I've been ready ever since I went down that tube and I saw all of the kind of inter-species interactions between humans and all these different life forms. You will not be able to accept the reason. You can at least try me. We want you to be part of our hive mind. We need assistance. We need excited human beings to help us. Okay. Okay. I like it. I like it. So tell me what I'm helping you with and what all of the human species would be helping you with. Oh, we just want our system to be present throughout the galaxy and other galaxies. Okay, so there's a nice frame. That's quite a ceiling. Can't even imagine what it would be beyond that, but so you want the constructive credit throughout the galaxy? Yes. Yes, we do. Ooh, a little excitement there for a gray. I like it. We are only mirroring you so that we can have the interspecies interface. You enjoy enjoyment. You're emotional about emotions. You have feelings about feelings. I am happy to mirror that to you. I like it. So, if I'm understanding you correctly, everybody who invests in this constructive credit system has unlimited potential for accruing more and more constructive credit, getting as many assistants, as many grays to assist them as possible. Correct? Inconceivably, if we really demonstrate a lot of initiative, we could each have $1 trillion of constructive credit at our disposal as we fly about the universe. Absolutely. That is the goal.